Okay, spoiler warning. If you've not seen the latest episode of Gotham, you may want to get up off the sofa because when these fingers disappear, I'm about to fuck it up for you. So you better be gone now because the fingers are gone. Okay, where do I begin? So Bruce finally finds out who killed his parents, and then he makes and then he, agrees with Alfred that Alfred should be the one to, to take his life, and then that'll be it. Bruce, wants to be the one to do it, but Alfred said, "No, I'll do it for you." Now, that's pretty. I mean, I'm guessing he. This is my guess. I'm guessing he's saying that just to calm him down, and then not let him go all half cocked and try to sneak out of the mansion and whatnot and do something crazy. But what I what I think he should do, if he hasn't decided that already, is to go to Gordon about this and give him the evidence, and that way Gordon can track this guy down and take him in, and into custody. But I know a lot of you would probably say, yeah, Bruce should kill that motherfucker, and then he tells Selena to go and find him a gun so he can end it. This wouldn't be the first time that Bruce Wayne, has confronted his killer, his parents' killer, and killed them. This wouldn't be the first time, because you remember in Tim Burton's Batman, when he finally confronts the Joker, for for the last time, once and for all in the movie, in the final act. He's like bloodthirsty. He's thirsty for for his blood, and he's punching him and punching him. And he tries to knock him off the building, and then he doesn't do it. And then he uses his grapple gun, and then he wraps it around his the Joker's ankle, and then it goes around the gargoyle statue, and then it comes off the building, and then it starts to pull the Joker down, and then off, and yanks him off the off the chopper as he's trying to escape, right off the ladder, and then sending him falling to his death. So this would be the second time that our good old Bruce Wayne, Prince of Gotham, has taken his parents' killer's life, if he does actually go through with it. And I'm guessing that that Alfred will probably find out right when he's about to do it, and then stop him, or Bruce actually does it and then he never tells Alfred about it, and he eventually finds out on his own, and then that has some consequences that he'll have to learn from, and then that will be that will be an interesting take for Bruce Wayne, is for him to take someone's life to discover that that's something he doesn't want to do, and that's not who he is, and that's the line he never wants to cross again. So that would be interesting, but they may not go that route, but it's how they're gonna go about it is a mystery, but that's one way I could see them going with. And let me jump right to Mr. Freeze. So Gordon, so the Gordon and the good old GCPD decides to have Nora Fries. I almost called her Nora Freeze. Fuck it, I'm calling her Nora Freeze. Fuck it. Nora Freeze, have her moved to Arkham Asylum. Where I get it, but as that sounds very outlandish. Why are you trying to send that poor woman to asylum full of maniacs and criminals who are gonna, probably kill her if she's left unsupervised or whatever? But there is a lot of people in at the Gotham Hospital, Gotham General Hospital General, or Gotham General, whatever the fuck it's called, and there's a lot of people there who are in no condition to defend themselves against, good old Mr. Freeze. So it's like the lesser of two evils. So I can see why, they go with the other plan, the other side of the coin, like to go to Arkham for that reason. But it's like, damn. I mean, Mr. Freeze is a desperate man who will go to extreme measures, you know, for his for to give his wife, an you know to live up, for more other days, to bless her with other for more days to wake up to. You know what I mean? You get where I'm going with this. Um, you know, I mean that makes him more human than it does, like non-human. And, that's human nature that you would think that you would love to go, like that you would have that willpower to go to that extreme measure to make sure your loved one is safe, and from what if it's like a illness or somebody else trying to add bringing danger into their life, or whatever the case may be, like where you would go to the extremes to guarantee their safety and their well-being. You know what I mean. But it's real intense that she decides that he's doing a lot of crazy off the wall shit, and just so she can live, and she can't live with that thought. She cannot live with that guilt. I mean, like she feels like that blood is more on her hands than it is his, and I can understand why she killed herself. It's like I don't want to live on. I can't live like he can't live on, or she can't live on, knowing that her husband is doing all this stuff so she can live. And you understand her point of view, you understand his point of view. So I mean, I can understand why she killed herself, even though it was tragic. I'm like, wow. Now that Mr. Freeze has no purpose, and in the story, because that was his purpose in the story, is to save her wife, and until he can find a cure to her illness. And now it's like, what is left for him to do now? I mean, just to be some crazy off the wall villain, because he lost the last piece of his humanity. It's like now there's nothing left for him, and then he attempts to kill himself. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? I mean, why are they killing him off? I mean, like, you can't kill off, one of Batman's well-known villains. I mean, he's gonna have to fight Batman. Let him fight Batman first at least, and then yeah. But I mean, you can't kill him off. But getting to that point, like it's bad enough you killed Jerome slash Joker. I'm gonna get to that later, and then. Now let's jump to Hugo Strange. Man, that man has a god complex. I mean, like, you see what he's doing, and you see that he managed to save Mr. Freeze's life, and he brought him back to life. And I forgot what he told him, but he said something about his body temperature and how the cold will like enough, just enough cold, enough cold temperatures for it to get. And for it to increase into the negative zone, can kill him. What I thought he was gonna say is if he exposes himself to like heat, then that will compromise his health, and then that will start to shut his body down, and he'll have to be in some kind of suit that supports that. Like where he has his body has to stay cold to a certain temperature. Otherwise, if it gets higher and higher, then then he'll start to crack. You know what I mean? But whatever. And then we see a room full of people. People who supposedly died earlier this season. Theo Galavan and the Joker. Oh man, that's what stood out the most to me is the Joker. Like, oh, he has a plan to bring those guys back to life. I mean, you can keep Theo Galavan dead, even though he's not going to. Just bring the Joker back. I mean, like, come on, you can't kill off the Joker. Come on. I mean, that's freaking sick. So I figured this episode was good enough to discuss, and yeah, and I thought it was a very cool, scene where you see Leslie confront Barbara, an unconscious Barbara, and you can tell that she just wants to kill her right then and there, and she doesn't do it. I mean, like I mean, from where they're going with this, I've said this before. What they're going with this, with Gordon's love life and storyline. Now he has a baby on the way with Leslie. Oh man, I mean, they're really changing things up here. I don't see how Barbara's gonna come back from this, and how her relationship with Gordon is gonna be rekindled, and they get married, and then they have little Barbara Gordon and whatnot, and I don't see how that's gonna. I don't see how it's gonna get back to how Barbara and Gordon and Barbara are gonna get back to where they were, and like earlier on in season 1. I kind of wish Leslie was Barbara Gordon at this point, but I mean, hey, it's whatever. I mean, we'll see where it goes. I just have a bad feeling something bad might happen with his relationship with Leslie. I just have that bad feeling because Barbara is supposed to be his woman and so on, but we'll see what happens. So with that all being said, this episode gets an 8.5 out of 1 to 10. This was really good, it's like a good revenge story for Bruce and for Mr. Freeze. So it's pretty cool to see them sort of embrace their lust for vengeance, and I don't know. We'll just see. I mean, we just gotta see where it goes with Bruce, and oh man, and how they'll potentially, Freeze already lost what he was living for, and it'll be interesting to see what that does to him. That will make him much more of a villain, and to see what that would do to Bruce, like if he finally does take this man's life. See what that does to him, So, yeah, so if you enjoyed my review, give this video a thumbs up and make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And share your thoughts on this episode. Let me know what you think is going to happen from here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.